You've done it, students. You've landed that job at an annual salary of $50,000. You're living in LA, Los Angeles, California. Life is good. But that $50,000 is known as a top line or gross number. Yeah, just like gross. Gross means all of it together before any taxes are taken out. So gross pay can be misleading because you look at it and you're like, I'm making $50K. Life is good. But what you aren't thinking about is all the taxes that are going to be taken out of it before you ever get to your take-home pay or net pay. So gross is the total before anything's taken out, and net is the bottom line, what you actually get to take home in your paycheck. Let's look at this example here to see exactly how much money we'd have in this scenario here. So you land your job at $50,000 a year. But before you even get this number, we're going to have to take out federal income tax, FICA, which is Social Security and Medicare, state income tax for the state of California, because California is one of the 41 that does have state income tax. And then finally, medical insurance, because we are mandated to have medical insurance. So, in case accidents happen or we need to go to the hospital, we want to have medical insurance. So we're going to take all these out, and then we'll be able to figure out exactly how much money we're making per year. Here's a hint. It's less. Because when you start with a big number and then you start chipping away at it from taxes, it gets smaller. So the gross pay is bigger than the net pay, which we'll have at the bottom. So right here, take home, or put in parentheses, net. Sometimes what we refer to it, net pay. Okay, so we've got gross pay and take home and net pay. Let's dive in. So federal income tax. The first $9,525 you make is taxed at 10%. But wait. You actually get something called the standard deduction. Right? And so what this says is the federal government is like, let's give you a little deduction first so we don't start taking taxes off you immediately. So the standard deduction in the United States right now is $12,000. You'll have to take a look at what it is in the future because it can change. So $12,000 means I'm going to be able to take $12,000 of money off my gross pay and not be taxed on this $12,000. So it's actually a really good thing. Like standard deductions help us pay less in tax. So we take $50,000 and we subtract $12,000 and we'll get $38,000 of taxable pay. Now the first $9,525 of this $38,000 is going to be taxed at 10%. Right? So $9,525, do we have that amount here? Yes, we do. So we are going to be taxed on this full bracket. 10% of this is $952.50. You just divide by 10. So we have $952.50. Right? That's our first bracket. Now, the next amount of money, up to $38,700, will be taxed at 12%. Do we have $38,700 here? No, we do not, but that's okay. Everything up to $38,000 is going to be taxed at 12%. But we've already been taxed on this amount here. We don't want to double tax ourselves on this first amount that we already paid tax on. So subtract that first bracket. All right, so doing the standard algorithm here. Okay, so 5, 7, so $475. And then 17 minus 9 is $28,475. That's how much we have not been taxed on yet. Right? So this amount of money falls within this region. We are going to be taxed at 12%. Now, rather than doing the standard algorithm here, let's break out the calculator in order to do 28,475 times 12%, or 12/100ths. Okay. So we have $28,475 to be taxed at, remember, don't multiply by 12 or you're going to owe a lot of tax. Just do 12/100ths. So just like magic, we get that, 3,417. That's how much federal tax we owe on that next bracket, $3,417. Superb. So that's it for federal income tax. We had enough money to get into these top two brackets, so we paid 10% on the first 9,525 and 12% on the rest. Now for FICA. Now FICA is Social Security tax and it's Medicare tax. Social Security tax, I'll write over here to remind us, was 6.2%. That's how much we owed. Our employer will own the other half. And then Medicare is 1.45%. Now, if you add all the together, we get 7.65%. So we're going to owe 7.65% of FICA on the amount of money that we made. Now, there is no standard deduction for FICA. That's on your full salary. So unfortunately, there's no deduction here. That's okay. 7.65%. We need to take the decimal over two places. So this is going to be spot 0.765 times 50,000. $3,825 in FICA. Our retired, older, grayer selves will thank us for this annual contribution. Now, state income tax. Now, we are living in California, which, sorry to say, Californians, y'all pay the most state income tax of any state in the entire United States. So it's really expensive to live in California, not just because the houses and the food is a little bit more expensive, but the actual taxation rate is gigantic. So from 0 to 30,000, we're going to owe 4%. The next 15,000, we owe 6%. And then the rest will owe 8%. So let's go ahead and break that down. So the first 30,000, well, 4% of 30,000 is $1,200. How did I do that? Well, I know 10% is, I divide this by 10. 30,000 divided by 10 is 3,000. And so half of that would be $1,500. And so I know it's going to be around $1,500. Well, what's 4 times 3? It's 12. So it's not $1,500, it's going to be $1,200. That's another mental math skill, like by estimating, doing something really easy and then working your way down to be more specific. So this is $1,200. We're going to owe $1,200 in this bracket. Now the next $15,000, we're going to owe 6%. Right? So we used a mental math skill here. We can use the calculator on this one. If you're feeling strong in the mental math, do the mental math first and then check your answer. Okay. So on the next 15,000, right, because 30,000 to 45,000, there's a difference of 15,000, you're taxed at 6%, right, which is $900. So we're going to owe $900 from this bracket. And then the final amount. Well, from $45,001 to $56,000, you owe 8%. But we don't make that much money. We only make $50,000. So we only need to go from $45,000 to $50,000. What's the difference between those? It's $5,000. So we're going to owe 8% on $5,000. So that's going to be $400. So there we go, $400. How did I know that was 400? Well, 10% of $5,000 is 500. I need a little bit less than that, and 8 times 5 is 40. Right? So these are all mental math tricks skills to help us do math a little bit more fluently, a little bit faster. All of this added up, $1,200 and $900, that'll give us $2,100. 2,100 and 400 more will get us $2,500. So our state income tax here is $2,500. And finally, our medical insurance. In addition to helping us with Social Security and Medicare, our employer typically helps share some of the cost of medical insurance. So what typically could be seen as like a $5,000 expense for you can typically get cut in half or even better, right? So what we're going to say here is that the medical insurance that you had was $5,000, but the employer covered 80% of that. So you only owe $1,000 per year for your medical insurance. So all of these taxes added up are chipping away at your paycheck. How much are they cumulatively? Well, we can go to the old calculator again, or you can use the standard algorithm. Go ahead and plop that here. Erase this so it's not confusing. So 1,000, 2,500, 3,825, 3,417, and $952.50. So total in taxes, we owe $11,694.50. Out of $50,000, that's a ton of money. That's a lot of deductions. So our gross pay looks really attractive. Our net pay is when we deduct all of those taxes and medical insurance. So we will do 50,000 minus $11,694.50. Okay. Ooh, there's noticeably less air in the room. You're looking at these numbers and feeling a little bit solemn. You're saying, Mr. Rogers, are you serious? I started off living in California with $50,000. And now I have $38,305.50? Yeah. Taxes are a doozy. So it's always helpful to take a look not at what your gross number is, but what your take-home number is, your net pay, because that's the actual money that you're going to have in your bank. It's not the gross number, although the gross number really makes you feel great. Always take a look at your net pay. You can even divide that into months and weeks if you want to get your monthly and weekly pay. Have a great day.